Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to split into two parts. Firstly, I will go through the portfolio updates followed by some of the companies updates in my portfolio. Second part, we will look into one of the company in my portfolio, namely ticker symbol FTNT, and we will compare FTNT with two others big players in this cybersecurity field. And without further ado, let us jump straight into the video content. The portfolio now is at $6,668. My deposit should be around close to about $6,500. These are the companies in my portfolio. Now, on the last session, it dropped quite a bit here from the high of 147 to the low of 139. It fell by about 4.5% on the last trading day. Last closing price at 139. So let's take a look at the chart again. You can also see that L has went up a lot, and then this is like a pullback. So we just keep holding on to the just two shares of L in this portfolio. Let's move to the next one. Fortinet. We will go through Fortinet in detail later, so we'll skip this for now. Marvell, one of the newer trades that I've bought over the week, has gone up quite a bit. You can see the P&L. So I just bought last week. So you can see last week it went up by about 18% already. So quite a good move. If it happened to drop more, I will have intention to add more shares. Yeah, if you have noticed, my security value is just around 2,000 plus, 2008, close to $3,000. So I still hold quite a bit of cash. So when the time comes, if there's a drop, I may add more shares for all these companies here. Next, Amazon. Amazon has been hovering for the past week trading, right? It has been going up and down this range as well. Not much news, not much movement for Amazon. Let's go to the next one. Adobe, I noticed over the past few sessions has been trending upwards. You can see the last few candle here has been going upwards since Monday, the red candle, and then go up all the way. So Friday, slight pullback here. So it go as high as 370. That's a good sign. I think the investors are starting to realize that Adobe is a very value play. Some people may call it value play. Some people may call it value trap. So depending how you look at it, you continue to hold Adobe. If there's a major pullback to about 330, like the support line here, I've drawn the line here, I may consider to add more Adobe around here. Next, NVDA, we have like a deep dive last week for NVDA. Latest news is NVIDIA has invested $5 billion in Intel, and they wanted to tie up and collaborate to develop multi-generations of customer data center and PC products that accelerate applications workload across hyperscale, enterprise, and consumer market. So this move caused competitors like AMD to has a drop in their share price over the last few days. This piece of good news gave Intel shares increment of about close to, the highest was around 30% from around $25 here. It jumped up to $32. Yeah, but it fell down to around about $30 again now. And for NVIDIA itself, the share price also went up due to this news. You can see this candle. So from around 160, 168, it jumped to around 170. It's around about 177. So closing price last is 176. This also caused the competitor AMD share price to drop over the last two trading days. You can see AMD's share drop from here to here. There's 159, 157 down to about close to 150, and then it went up again. Buyers bought up AMD back again to around 157, 158. That's the closing price on the last trading days of the week. So the last one, Celsius Holding, CELH. I managed to add another 2 shares of Celsius. Over the last week, it hasn't been performing. So I bought two shares, one over here and one over here, on the last two trading days of the week. It fall from the highs of in end of August, $63, and over the past 2 weeks has been going down to around $55 mark. So if Celsius holding goes lower to around $50 mark, I will be prepared to add more shares as well. That's all for the portfolio update. Next, let us move into a company that I'm going to do a bit more research this week. Ticker symbol FTNT. So FTNT Fortinet is a cybersecurity company. It's a platform-based cybersecurity vendor with product offerings covering network security, cloud security, zero trust access, and security operations. They are more strong in their firewall segment, and the firm has a revenue through subscription service. This is one of my favorite business model as well. Let us now look at their revenues. Their current share price last close is around $84. And Morningstar, this report is by Morningstar, they gave them a fair value of around 108 right here. You can see 108. So it's still undervalued based on Morningstar. For their revenue, let's take a look at the past few years, starting from maybe 2019. In terms of million, you can see they did around 2 billion, 2.1 billion here, 2.5 billion in 2020, and till date today, they did around 6.3 billion. So has been increasing steadily over the last few years. That's a very good sign. In terms of gross margin, you can see it's also increasing gradually over these few years. Very nice numbers here. And their operating income, you can see, has been also increasing. Same goes for their operating margin, has been increasing as well. The higher the better. So till date, today is around the 31% already. Net income is also increasing steadily over the years. The earnings per share is also increasing steadily over the years. These are the numbers that I like. Gradually increasing up. So it's a very stable and consistent growth company. Operating cash flow here has been also increasing over the years. Free cash flow as well, increasing over the years, increasing steadily. Let's take a look at the PE ratio over here. So their PE ratio, the price to earning ratio compared to their competitors, are actually much lower. Later, when we go through the rest of the company, you will notice that FTNT has got the better looking numbers, and they are more so-called undervalued. So it has a PE ratio of 33.5 for now, 5 years 61, and forward PE of 30. So 30 is still a conservative number, considering this is very much a growth company. Next, let's compare with their close competitor, Palo Alto Networks, ticker symbol PANW. So Palo Alto, they are in the same industry. They are so-called the leader for the cybersecurity vendor. And you look at their so we take a quick look at their numbers as well to compare. Their fair value is 210. So and their last close is about 208. Morningstar based this as fair value for now. And let's take a look at their revenue here. Has been increasing quite steadily over the last few years. Gross margin has been also increasing or remain consistent. Operating income negative, but it grew to be positive. And the net income gotten into positive. Earning per share is also increasing. Okay, next, free cash flow has been growing consistently as well. Not as nice as what we seen earlier compared to Fortinet, but it's still quite decent. Take a look at their PE ratio now. Price to earning, you see 130. Just now was only around 60, if I'm not wrong. And for PE is around 30 for Fortinet. But for Palo Alto, it's around 54. So that's quite high. Let's take a look at the last company to compare. CrowdStrike. So this is one of the more popular growth cybersecurity company as well. Fair value 330. So currently the stock closing price is 502. So it's overvalued for now. Their revenue also growing consistently. Gross margin also quite steady. Operating income still a bit of negative here, numbers we see over here. And the net income as well, still negative for now. I think this due to their recent outage, I think about a year back. So they put their numbers negative here. Earning per share is still negative. Alright, the free cash flow here is positive and growing consistently. So overall, I feel this is not as attractive as Fortinet, but this will be one of the company in my short list as well, in my watch list as well. We'll take a look at their PE ratio here. So 5 years average is 640. That's a big number. And forward PE is at 542. So out of these three companies, right, you can see that the numbers, which numbers is better? I would think that the Fortinet is the better one, followed by Palo Alto and then CrowdStrike. That's all for this week portfolio update. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have comments or if you have feedback, do leave down in the comments section. I will see you in the next one. Bye.